Let's move on and let's talk about the LA Chargers 2025 NFL schedule and game by game, win by loss predictions. You don't want to miss this, guys. Under year 2 of Jim Harbaugh brings higher expectations and a clear identity for the LA Chargers. The question is, how far can this team go in a loaded AFC? Let's break it down, right? Now, week number 1, they do travel to Brazil to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a home game. You want a tone setter. Beating the Kansas City Chiefs in front of a global audience shows this team they are for real. Harbaugh makes the statement early, week 1, the LA Chargers do get that win over the Kansas City Chiefs, week 1 in Brazil. And then week number 2, the Raiders are rebuilding, let's just be honest. And the Chargers will take full advantage of that, giving a 2-0 start back-to-back with divisional wins. I like it. And then week number 3, they're back at home, taking on another divisional foe in the Denver Broncos. Three straight divisional games to start the season. The Chargers sweep the opening slate with another clean win, this time over Denver. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. People are getting excited. People are talking about how great the LA Chargers are. People are talking about this is the year of the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh is the greatest coach ever. Insert week 4. A classic early season trap game. Long road trip to New York. Off of a hot start, this one slips away from the Bolts early, and they lose to the New York Giants at New York. And then week number 5, Jaden Daniels and Cliff Berry catch the Chargers sleeping. A second straight loss brings them back down to earth, giving a 4-2 record going into week number 6 when they travel back across the East Coast and they play the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Chargers respond in this Miami game. This is where year 2 weaknesses start to show up and big road wins against a high-flying Miami squad, and they excel. They beat the Miami Dolphins in a nice close game, 17-16. And then week number 7, they're back at home. The Chargers handle business versus the Indianapolis Colts. They keep Anthony Richardson in check, and they move to 5-2 on the season, or Daniel Jones, whoever you think you're going to be the quarterback is. But then week number 8, short week at home, no problem versus the Minnesota Vikings. No problem versus the Minnesota Vikings come week 8 on Thursday Night Football. The defense dominates under the lights, and the Chargers keep rolling. They are rolling into week 9 when they get another grit and grind road game over the Tennessee Titans, and Harbaugh's crew is built for it. Guys, the Chargers power the way into another W. They are steamrolling everybody as of right now. Those 2 early season losses, they forget about that. We are top dogs. And then going into week 10, Sunday Night Football, they keep on going. A defensive slugfest in prime time. The Chargers win an ugly game, but this is a good thing. These are the type of games that they need to win in the playoffs to succeed in the playoffs. And then week number 11 is when the wheels start to come off the bus. Week 11 is when they travel to Jacksonville. Yet another East Coast game, and the streak ends here. Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars have playoff experience and the edge, and this one out at home. The edges won out at home. Going into the week 12 bye week. This is a perfect timing for a breather heading into a stretch run. And then, right off of the bye week, going into week 13, they play another division foe at Vegas, taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. They're refreshed, they are focused, and the Chargers sweep the Raiders to get back into the win column. But that is the last win of their season. Week 14, they're back at home taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Big time Monday night crash, but the Eagles' experience and physical overwhelmed the Chargers late. Week 15, they head back to Arrowhead Stadium in December. Never easy to play at Arrowhead in December. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid get their revenge and hand the Chargers a critical divisional loss. And then they travel to Dallas. This one's brutal. Back-to-back tough road games, and in Dallas in front of 70 feet to 1,000 people. The Chargers hit a speed bump, and they used another one, losing 3 in a row, losing 4 of their last 5. Then coming into week 17, they play the Houston Texans. They get a huge bounce-back win. The Chargers get a massive win to keep their playoff hopes alive against a surging Texan squad come week 17. And then week 18, depending on playoff seeding, Harbaugh may rest some starters here, but either way, the Broncos split the series with the late season win over the Denver Broncos, giving the final record of the LA Chargers 10-7. That puts them at 10-7, a strong follow-up to year one underneath John Harbaugh, where they got a clear identity. They're winning games they're supposed to, and they're in the playoff mix going deep into December. They're not elite just yet, but trending in the right direction. So, guys, 10-7, a playoff team in the AFC, maybe, right? But can Jim Harbaugh take the next step into year two and finally get the team over a hump? Guys, drop your record predictions down in the comments below, and let's hear what you guys have to think. Mellow Mike says, great choking, meeting the LA Chargers. That is tough because the Chargers do like to choke late in the season, and that's exactly what they do. They have 5 losses, so they lose 5 of 7 to end the season. Basically, almost eliminating their playoff chances, just to be honest, right? Alpha Rob says, Kansas City Chiefs win week 1 versus the Chargers. Always play Kansas City close, but always lose. Alpha Rob, you would be correct if this was at LA and or Arrowhead. But the fact that it's a neutral site game in Brazil, I got to give the advantage to the Chargers in week 1. I don't know, it's just a gut feeling, but I feel like the Kansas City Chiefs don't play well on foreign soil. Now, when they played in Mexico versus the Rams a couple years ago, right? Yes, they lost and they played well, but the simple fact of the matter is they still lost, right? Mellow Mike says, Gentry going to drop a deuce on the Cowboys. 200 yards. We're talking about the Raiders next, Mellow Mike, so slow it down, baby. Slow it down, but that is a false statement. That is a false statement. Chris Jones is going to eat that man up for lunch. Shay Fraser said the Broncos are winning the division. Shay, if I ever heard a false statement, this is a false statement. This is the most talking out of your ass I've ever seen in the entire NFL landscape. The Denver Broncos are trash, Shay. The Denver Broncos are trash. Let me repeat that one more time for the people in the back, especially you, Mark D. The Denver Broncos are trash. They're trash. Overrated. Tyler